more. Sasha?
Sandra and Alan, I am so excited to tell you about a new program. It's called Reflecting Shakespeare. It's a program that brings the works of Shakespeare to a rather unusual audience. It is women in prison, specifically here in San Diego County, to the women inmates at Las Colinas jail. Karen Ann Daniels is part of the Old Globe staff, and she is one of the instructor artists who is helping bring these works of the great master to our inmates here. Tell me a little bit about Reflecting Shakespeare, and why would a poet and playwright who wrote wonderful works 400 years ago have any relevance for a woman who is sitting in a jail cell at Las Colinas today?
So the program Reflecting Shakespeare, we started it 3 years ago at Las Colinas, and it's been an amazing journey to bring Shakespeare. And I got to say, it's a really great question. I would ask you another question, which would be to say, you know, do you like stories about lust, power, loss? You know, family, war, tragedy. It's about life.
These are universal themes.
Exactly. So that's really where the women connect.
Now, it's not just a one-week course. This is a long commitment. How many weeks, and what do the women have to do?
So we generally do 2 to 3 times a year, and there are 12 sessions that we do. And at the end of each session, there's a culminating performance that is a mix of both Shakespeare and the women's writings.
Okay, so it spans, you said, 12 sessions, and the women come in, they read the work, they actually perform, and they do their own writing.
And they do their own writing, and, you know, in that class, they get a chance to connect with each other on a different level. They agree on sort of the terms of being there and what is expected of each other and the work when they're in the space. So it becomes a really safe place to explore these topics that we've just talked about.
Okay, real briefly, can you share maybe one bit of writing from one of the inmates?
I've got a great piece of writing here for you, and it's actually several of them. Never leave with anything left unsaid. You never know what tomorrow will bring. Don't go to bed angry. This too shall pass. Cherish the moments. When things get bad, they can only get better. It just takes time. God has your back. We have to try to make things right.
And this is performed by the woman who wrote this before her peers at the jail.
Yes, actually, it's a compilation of several people's ideas that were put together.
And was that inspired by one of the plays?
Yeah, Midsummer Night's Dream, and they were talking a lot about their dreams and in their reflection to the Shakespeare.
Okay. Yeah. Now I want to turn the conversation to Patricia Ceballos. She is head of the Reentry Program for the Sheriff's Department. First of all, what is Reentry, and why is this program meaningful to the inmates?
Very good. So Reentry Services is looking at how we can support individuals while they're with us in our custody in many areas of their life. And working with the Old Globe, what we've done is really offered people an opportunity to bring creative arts. Sometimes, many of them, this is the first time, bringing theater as a way to process what life has brought to them and where they're at in the moment. And we've really been able to see and support people in different ways, and meeting people where they're at has been really important.
Now, how is this going to help them once they leave Las Colinas and re-enter that society, that culture outside the jail walls?
That's right. So when we think about how we process information and giving people different skills and tools, this is a way to incorporate a creative way of processing things that happen in everyday life, as was spoken about earlier. And so really looking at people, giving them opportunities to find change in life. And once change happens over time, we really see progress.
Okay. Karen Ann, this program, Reflecting Shakespeare, is part of a greater initiative by the Old Globe, which is called Globe for All, bringing the works of Shakespeare to underserved audiences. And it's also a part of a larger conference that's taking place here this weekend. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Globe for All is our biannual tour that we take out to the community to introduce ourselves to people. So if they don't come here to the park to see us, that we'll come and see them. So that's the tour that we do twice a year. And then the conference is the Shakespeare in Prisons Conference. And actually, that was started by Shakespeare Behind Bars and Shakespeare at Notre Dame, other practitioners who do similar work with inmates. And they've created a network, and we've joined the network, and they're the ones that actually helped inspire us to develop our own program here at the Globe.
And you have artists coming from all over the world.
All over the world, yeah, definitely. From India, Serbia, I think, and I can't remember where else right now, but New York, but all over the country as well. So it's a really interesting and just a wonderful time for people to get together and to talk about the why and the how of what we do.
Sounds like a very exciting weekend, and I, for one, feel very inspired. Well, that's a wrap of what's going on here at the Old Globe. We'll send it back to you at Costera.